Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Aradhana and today I am here with the part 5 of William J. Long's History of English Literature. And today I am going to cover the 5th chapter of this book, which is the revival of learning. And this is the same chapter where we'll talk about Renaissance, rebirth, printing press, and the transition from Middle Ages to the modern ages and all those kinds of things. And first of all, let me just tell you, I am so late with this video. It's almost like 2 weeks when I'm uploading this video from the last video. So the thing is that I'm juggling with a lot of things. First of all, I am my B.Ed practicals has been going on, and then there was this library visit, and then there were a lot of things. I have my freelancing work as well. So the thing is that I have a lot on my plate, so that's why I am not able to upload regularly. I just do this just on the side. It's not what I do on a regular basis. So please bear with me. I will upload whenever I get time, but I will upload and complete this series, hopefully. So yeah, I hope you all will understand. And now, without any further ado, let's get into the 5th chapter of this book. Also, my eye is twitching today, so there could be random shots of me just holding my eye. So please don't ignore that. Okay, so now let's get into today's video. So the first thing that you need to keep in mind is that in the first page of my notes, there are a lot of, mention of a lot of kings of England. You don't need to remember all of them. Just remember Henry the 8th, because it is in his reign that all the, these changes, these transitions took place. And he is the most important person in this, in the political scenario of England for this period, which is the Renaissance period. And yeah, he is the most important thing. Now let's discuss a couple of things which happened during his time, which are going to influence this age, like from 1400 to 1550 and up even the Elizabethans, because most of the people who were reading at this point in time, who were analyzing those classic works during this period, which were found by all the people, these people are the ones who are going to carry on with this work. And these people are just going to write all the things in the Elizabethan age, or they are going to just give all that knowledge to their new generations. So there are not a lot of writers in this period who actually wrote anything which was valuable to literature. There are just a couple of them. And the thing is that these people were kind of so much immersed in reading that they did not develop literature as it was being developed before that, and as it would be developed in the later periods as well. So the thing is that these people were just reading all sorts of things, because there were these ancient things which came into prominence when the printing press was brought in England by Caxton. So there were a lot of books. I mean, they were not being developed on a massive level like today, but in comparison to the books that were being printed before that, which were very rare and only the upper class people could get them, they were not accessible to everybody. So the people were actually very happy with the kind of the massive production of books which were easily accessible now. And so yeah, now people started reading all these things, and this is going to lead in the massive development that will come in the coming ages of English literature. So now there are 3 things that happened during the reign of Henry VIII that are very important. The first one is the rise of Reformation. So Reformation is in a broad sense, it's a religious movement in which the Catholic religion of England was transformed into Protestant. Okay, people started questioning the church, and that's why they transformed into Protestant. Now Protestant sect of the Christianity, these people are kind of very adaptable to changes, because they believe that there should be changes from religion every now and then, according to the changing scenario of the society. But Catholic religion is kind of like a kind of fanatic, that's what we call it, right? They were kind of very strict with the rules, with the regulations and all those kinds of things. So they were not really in favor of that the changes should be brought in religion every now and then. But these Protestant people were like, no, it's not gonna happen, and there has to be some changes brought in the religion, because we cannot always listen to the Pope and whatever he says, and they can do whatever they want to do. So these are the kinds of things that took place during this Reformation movement. Now the second important thing is, which is a kind of a political aspect of this age, is that the Act of Supremacy was passed in 1534. So according to that, what happened was that the feudal system was abolished in England, and the thing was that Parliament was given supremacy. Okay, so what happened is that the religious, the religious aspect was also dissolved from this as well, because these monasteries were suppressed, and every kind of religious supremacy was just banished. The thing is that people were not that religious at that point in time. They were more open to things, they were more open to changes, and everything took place in that scenario. And even the king Henry VIII was in support of all that. That's why it all happened. Now the third and the most important thing that led to this big massive transformation was the printing press, which was brought to England in 1476 by William Caxton. Now William Caxton is is said to have brought printing press in England. It is not the invention of printing press, but it was brought in England by Caxton for the very first time. A printing press existed before, but it was not in England, and it was not like you can just get a printing press and just open a shop and publish a bunch of books. It was not like that. But now it could happen, with this first shop that William Caxton opened during this time. So this all of these things, all of these three things that I told you, all of this led to a kind of scenario where people could learn and imbibe all the classic literature and everything that has been written. It was very easily accessible to everyone, and that is the most important thing, because earlier things were accessible but only to the upper class people and not to poor people. The most important thing is that even though there were so many people reading all of these things, they were not writing anything. Most of people were not writing anything. There were a very very handful of people who just wrote anything during this point in time, because there are only 3-4 works which are worthwhile talking about during this period. So people were just not writing anything. They were just imbibing all of these things, because for this transformation you first need to know all of these things. So there was this turmoil, and this is like a tumultuous period in England, and people were just imbibing all of this. So there was not development in the field of literature as such, but there was a development in the mind of the people, right? So that is also, this contributes to a lot, because Elizabethan period is going to has the best of the works written in English literature. I mean, Shakespeare is gonna come in that age, and he's going to just transform English literature forever. So yeah, one thing that you need to keep in mind is that miracle and morality plays were very important at this point in time. They reached their zenith in the Elizabethan age. Those were the most important miracle and morality plays. But during this time, miracle and morality plays were still being written, because the religious upheaval was there, but still people were writing these, because you cannot really separate religion and men in just one day. So there was miracle and morality plays are still being written by people. So yeah, you need to keep that in mind. So now let's talk about the literature of this period. The thing is that there are only 3 most important works that were written during this period. Only 3 works. Imagine if every period has only 3 works, then we all would top in our exams, right? So the 3 most important works during this period were Thomas More's Utopia, Erasmus's The Praise of the Folly, and the third one is Malory's Morte d'Arthur. Okay, so among these 3 books, only Utopia is the single work which is read even today, and which is almost asked in exams if it is related to literature, and it is prescribed in the MA syllabus, I guess, as well. And Praise of the Folly, I haven't read that, and I haven't read Morte d'Arthur as well. Summaries are enough for that. And Utopia you can read. I have it here. Let me just show you. Yeah, this is the book. I have read Utopia. Actually, I read it last year. This is the book. Okay, so this book is actually, Utopia means kingdom of nowhere. It means a place like this doesn't exist, and I kind of believe that yeah, a place like this cannot exist, because this Utopia is about this man like Thomas More, who meets this person who is who has been to this country called Utopia, where everything is just perfect. The government is in charge. The people are so happy with the government. They have amazing rules, and everybody is following those rules. That's the most That is the most undigestible thing according to me. Everybody is just following all those rules. Nobody is like, doing anything shitty. And yeah, the thing is that this kind of place could never exist, would never exist. So yeah, there is no point in talking, debating about this. And yeah, I have this very simple note that I took during this time, and I have written a little bit of things. If you want, I could just post this, but I don't think so it is of any use to all of you. I can make a video on Utopia if you all want it, then please comment down. Okay, so the thing is that Utopia is very important and Praise of Folly and Morte D'Arthur is not that important. So yeah, let's get back to our chapter. Now, one thing you need to know about Utopia is that it is the book that established the terms equality, fraternity, and liberty, which are kind of the the most important terms in a lot of constitution, including Indian constitution. So another thing that you need to keep a track of is the translation of the Bible. And during this time, during the revival of learning, Tyndale translated the Bible into English, and this translation of the Bible will be included in the later versions of the Bible, also the Great Bible, and later on in the standard version, the authorized version of the Bible as well. I have with me the King James's version of the Bible here. I read it last year. Okay, I haven't completed the whole. I read the Genesis and all that because I was reading Paradise Lost, so I just wanted to get the original things in context. So that's why I read this. If you all want it, King James version is the best, I guess, so you can just check it out as well. Now, the field of poetry, two most amazing inventions took place, which is the invention of sonnet. And it's not like the invention of the sonnet, but this was the first time that the sonnet came into prominence, and also the blank verse came into prominence. And that's how these writers are going to write all the things in blank verse. Milton is going to write, and Shakespeare is going to write, and all those kinds of things. Sonnet, Shakespeare is going to write sonnet, and a lot of writers would write sonnet. So that was Watt and Surrey. I think you all would have heard their name in your English literature class, because Watt and Surrey, if you have read sonnet, you must you might just remember this name, Watt and Surrey. Okay, so Thomas Watt and Surrey, which was the Earl of Surrey, his real name was Henry Howard, and these people are attributed to the invention of the sonnet. And these people actually, sonnet kind of transitioned into this form quite later, because it was invented in Italy. But the current form of sonnet, like in the blank verse and all that, this is attributed to these people. Okay, so they kind of invented the sonnet and blank verse, and they wrote this work called Total's Miscellany, and this is how the sonnet and blank verse came into being. Okay, so this work is believed to be written by these two people, but we have no idea if it is, it's not confirmed. But yeah, the Total's Miscellany is written by Watt and Surrey, and that's how we get to know about sonnets and blank verse. Okay, last but certainly not the least is Thomas Malory's Morte D'Arthur. Now, this work is not important because it is a very amazing tale or anything. It is important because it became source to a lot of amazing work, which I'm going to talk about as we go to those chapters. It kind of inspired Tennyson to write a lot of works, which is one of his most important works are written in written based on this story, or like based on this character actually. And most of the works are which has been taken from this work are based on this character and how chivalric he was and all those kinds of things. So yeah, that is all about this chapter. There is not a lot of things that happen during this chapter. That's why it's not very important thing. You just need to know that Renaissance, what is humanism. Renaissance is the rebirth of of man. In a way, we say that man discovered himself and the universe, because there were a lot of geographical discoveries, a lot of scientific discoveries, and printing press is one of the most amazing inventions. And also all of these kinds of things happen during this period, and that's why this period is so important. Because if this period did not exist, then Elizabethan age and all of these glorious ages, these are not going to exist. That's what makes this period so important, because not a lot of good works were written during this time. But if this period did not exist, then nothing almost amazing would exist. Maybe Shakespeare would not have written such amazing works had these people not found the classic works of these classic writers. So yeah, that's all about this chapter, and I hope you all understood this chapter, and I hope I upload the next video very soon. And let me know if you all have any suggestions or any feedback if you want to, or kuch nahi to at least you can just comment that you found it useful. So yeah, I think that's it for today, and I am going to meet you in the next video very soon, and maybe I'll upload a short on utopia in a couple of days. So yeah, watch out for that. And yeah, that's about it. Bye bye. Stated the